Howdy ho friends, welcome to Pack Dump 2023. This is going to be part 3. Disclaimer, I'm not telling you what you should or should not be carrying or what products to use. Nothing I show in this video is sponsored. You need to make your own decisions and do your own research. Okay, let's get started. We got 2 categories here. Heads up, it is a little warm out. It's 100 freaking degrees. The humidity is 100%. I'm going to sweat and probably stumble a little bit on my words because it's freaking hot. And had some dental work done. Anyway, let's get past that part, shall we? Where should we start? All right, you're going to be surprised at what I carry. There's going to be 2 categories. One is if I'm just going out on a day hike and only coming in at least 2 miles, and maybe some of my overnights where I'm just doing 2 miles in, 2 miles out. That's not that far to carry some of this stuff. The other category is going to be if I'm doing a distance backpacking hike with an overnight included, and I'll show you what I carry for that. So let's get started with what I carry with me all the time. You guys seen this in the tactical H2O pouch. Let's move these guys out of the way so we can get a good view. Doing a little gardening here. You've seen this in part 2. So we're not going to go into that much detail about it, but it does have the Stanley Cantina in there. It is 32 ounces, and the bottom of it is stainless steel for the purpose, if I have to boil water, I can pop the lid off, boil the water, and purify it. Speaking of water, anyway, this goes with me no matter what, no matter where I go at all times. The next piece of gear, I liberated this from Jessica. It used to be her lunchbox, and I just kind of took it over. This is what I carry if I'm going 2 miles in, 2 miles out, and maybe doing an overnight. It holds a lot of freaking water. It's got several different compartments. The first one here in the center, I just carry some just standard drink mixes. And there should be, where'd it go? An extra lighter, just in case. And not sure why there's mustard in there, but there's mustard. Sometimes I dump condiments. All right, so this is the first package in this, or the first pocket in the front of it. The second one up here, it's stuck at the moment. It's not going to let me unzip it. All right, we'll get the other side. I could carry more water at the top. Today I'm carrying some more bug spray. But also this top section here is where I put my trash. I'll put my trash in a Ziploc bag, throw it in here so I don't have to put it in my pack. And surprisingly, this thing holds a lot more than you think. Now let's get into the good stuff. If we can figure out if the zipper works. You know, I probably should replace it, but it's never let me down. I probably won't. And plus the duct tape's holding it together. Let's get to the good stuff. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 16 ounces of bottles of water in there. I can also add food items that need to be cold or add more water. Now something interesting about this, and a friend of the channel told me to do it. There are 2 of these water bottles that I have frozen. This keeps the water or whatever I put in the cooler cool, and that afternoon or the next day when these melt, I have ice cold freaking water. And such as a day like today when it's just hot and you start to overheat, you can put this sucker in between your wrists and cool your body down. Heads up, when it's this hot out, I'm not a doctor, but I don't recommend putting this behind your neck to cool you down. It makes it feel kind of weird. So the best spot is definitely going to be on your wrist where that blood vein shows. Anyway, that was just a fun fact and quick tip. So there's this item right here. I usually just wrap this around my hiking staff, throw it on my back and hike in. Now let's get to the pack. Oh, I'm sure you're noticing that this is not my normal multiple use pack. I decided to take my backup multiple use pack out, just test it out, see what it's missing. And so far I've used it a couple times and found out I needed to add more cordage and more Ziploc bags, but they are set up the same as my other bag, the Wally World products. And if you like, I'll do a video on it down the road. Just let me know in the comment section. Anyway, so I'm out. We're gonna say I'm doing a distance hike, 10 miles in, overnight, 10 miles out. Obviously, we're not gonna carry this. It's just gonna get in the way. But I do have something in this pack I use. All right, so originally, back to this pen, I used to carry, I'm gonna make sure you don't see the label on there, water bottles in the pack. I carry three of them, one on each side, one in the bottom. But the manufacturers got cheap on these suckers, and once you take the lid off and mess around with it a couple times, the lid just pops right off. So basically, you've lost your water, the pack becomes wet, and this has become a nightmare, and you can't rely on them. And if you're 10 miles out without a water source, you need to have something you're going to be able to rely on. So I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he mentioned these. Hang on. To me, and I grabbed them. Now, they're not the spot they're supposed to be in this pack. Normally, what you want to do is you want to carry your weight towards the bottom, but since I'm not even a mile in, they're not where they're supposed to be. So normally when I carry them, there'll be one on this side, freaking spider over here, come on, and there'll be one on this side to keep the weight towards your back. But not too worried about it today. Oh, it feels nice and cool in here. All right, so I'm gonna pull these out. Don't laugh at me too hard, but they're in socks. These are my backup socks. It helps to keep the water in there cool in the summer and warm in the winter. And a friend of the channel suggested this to me. So if you're ever watching one of my just short videos where I show the camp, and you see my socks hanging up on the ridge line for the hammock, I'm drying them out. Anyway, surprisingly lightweight. This is very, and I mean very thin, stainless steel. These were originally vodka bottles back in the day, and a friend of mine gifted them to me to use for this purpose. Stainless, you can boil them. Make sure you take the lid off. And I'm going to show you something. I'm not putting those in the sand because it gets all over my freaking pack. But if you notice, both of these little guys have tape on them. Red tape, brown tape, two totally different colors. I steered clear of the blues and all that. The purpose is, if I'm harvesting water, I will put the dirty water in the red container so I know not to drink it. Clean water in the brown container. Now, I didn't bring it with me. I should have to show this to you, but I've got an attachment that hooks to this container and then hooks into my Stanley filtration system. So I just hold it up down and it drains itself out and filters. Great things to carry, not as heavy as you think they were. They're almost, I think they're about 20. I'd have to look it up, I really don't know. About 20 ounces of water with me. So I've got these two on my distance hike and overnight, and it's 32 ounce. And if I'm really feeling spunky, I will throw a plastic water bottle in there wrapped up in a Ziploc just to make sure. I do over carry water, basically in case I get in trouble or if I find somebody out on the trail that needs it. So this has been a really basic look of all the items I carry. Let's throw this back in the pack. And trying to keep the freaking sand out of here. Keep hearing weird noises. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one dumb enough to be in the woods today at these temperatures. No worries though, friends. The hammock will be coming out and a nap will be held. Or had. Alright, so there's a look at my items. They're a little different in setups than most people carry. And of course, then on my Sawyer filtration system, I do have the bag for it. It is 32 or 36 ounces. It's pretty freaking big. And it can hold water too to bring back to camp. Alright, I think I'm probably just going to go ahead and wrap this up since I've showed you anything. If you'd like, leave down in the comment section. If you got questions, you can tell me what you carry or even if you got a suggestion for me, it makes life easier out here on the trail. And like always, friends, thanks for watching. Oh, heads up, if you're, there will be a part 4. It'll be an add-on section. A couple people have asked on what sleep systems I carry out in the woods and what time of year. That one will be one of the next videos I'm going to be doing, and I'll probably do that at the Mystical Tree because I'm going to be carrying all my sleeping gear with me. All right, I think we covered everything. Yeah, we're good. All right, friends, like always, thanks for watching.